Okay, here we are. Now this was the low voltage of the transmitter, and this is the low voltage section of the transmitter here. As I told you before, in part 1 I showed you how to build this rectifier substitution for solid state, and this is what it consists of right here. And there's the high voltage dropping resistor, to be determined, the actual value. I won't know yet until I get the system running on the low voltage side. Get the final resistor value. I got 250 ohm, it might be 100 ohm, who knows. But anyway, the first section of this printed circuit board we're testing is right here. These two capacitors are in series. Instead of having one capacitor to ground, we have two now. And so what I got a power supply here, and homemade out of a Heath kit, and I can lower the voltage, and I can raise it to max, and I get 25.9 volts out. So I have put a ground, put the meter ground on here, right here ground, and I put the 25 volts out of this power supply to the plus side of the first section of this capacitor board right here, and that's what I have right here. And as we see here, I'm measuring 25 volts in right there. Now we come back and we come through the first capacitor, the first resistor there, and now we're down to 12.8 volts. So that first capacitor is good. I got a reflection here from the light. And then we come across, and we still have the 12 volts there. And then on the other side should be ground, and that's correct. So that first section, the first two capacitors are wired correctly. I don't have nothing in backwards, and everything's functioning. Now I'm going to go to the second side of that capacitor and stick this on there, and we should see 25 volts coming in there, and we do. Now we're going down through that first resistor to the negative side of the first capacitor, and we see 13 volts. Okay, then we come across here, back down, and we're still seeing the 13 volts. And on the other side it shows 0. So that tells me that the circuit board is wired correctly. The capacitors are in there at the right polarity, and everything's a go. All I got to do now is to install this board in the transmitter. And this evening I'll have it hopefully transmitting sideband, CW, and AM with just the driver tube putting out the power, because I haven't got the 750 volt supply built yet. But that's what you got to do. Anyway, we'll start. I'll have the time to get this thing straightened out, and then I'll figure out with the circuit running. I'll figure out the proper resistor here, because when you replace the tube and put diodes in there, the voltage jumps way up. Okay, and so I gotta figure out this resistor here after I get the set running, because I want an output of about 325. Because when the transmitter starts transmitting a full load, 120 watts, the voltage is going to drop a little bit. I want to try to stay with the load that the power supply, the 300 volt line should be at 300. So we'll play with that resistor right here and get that straightened out. And then we'll go into phase 3 which is the high voltage section. All right, thanks for looking.